Okay, it's cookie day around here, and we've made peanut butter candy bar cookies, and now we're going to move on to coconut candy bar cookies. And this was kind of inspired by finding these little mounds. Actually, they're not mounds, they're Almond Joy. They do have the almond, but they're coconut with some dark chocolate on the outside. And I said, ooh, I think that would be a really good candy bar cookie if I made kind of a coconut flavored cookie, sugar cookie of sorts, maybe more like a Snickerdoodle to go around the outside of it. So that's what we're going to do with this next batch. Alright, starts the same exact way as our peanut butter cookies. This has some butter, and I'm using coconut oil to give it that little bit of coconut flavor. You can use shortening, but ew, why would you, right? Alright, and everything's nice and soft and at room temperature. I'm going to just beat that, and then add your sugar to that. This is your basic method for making cookie dough. Just cream that sugar in with your butter or whatever fat you're using. Add your eggs. Beat those in really well. Instead of vanilla, I'm going to use coconut extract. Another punch of coconut flavor, just about a teaspoon. You can overdo it on flavorings. At high altitude you need a little bit more flavoring, as I've mentioned before. If you're down what we call lowlander, sea level, you can use a little less. Alright, that's basically it. Now we're just going to sift in, this is flour, salt, baking soda this time, and a little bit of cream of tartar. Remember, if you've watched previous episodes of cooking class, cream of tartar is an element of baking powder, but instead of having it put in with cornstarch and baking soda to make baking powder, it's just the soda and the cream of tartar in this recipe. Alright. It's got a lot more cream of tartar to baking soda. It's got twice as much. So that's quite a bit different than the proportions that are in regular baking powder. Alright, just get that going. Whoop. Alright. You can see that this recipe doesn't make as much as our peanut butter recipe, but it's going to be plenty for the dozen candy bars I have waiting over here. Alright, smells very good. Nice and coconutty. Alright. Okay, now I'm just going to form these the same way that we did for the peanut butter candy bar cookies on a stick, but just in case you missed that one, I'll go ahead and show you what to do. I'm using a number 24 scoop. You're going to take a very liberal scoop, just kind of flatten it out, take your candy bar, put it in the middle, surround it, kind of shape it just a little bit. You want to make sure that you get the whole candy bar encased in cookie dough. Otherwise the candy bar, of course, will melt and ooze out, and we won't have a pretty candy bar cookie. Alright, so this is what it will look like, and you're just going to put that on a cookie sheet, and remember not to put them very close together. You want them nice and spread out, because this will spread out to make a really big cookie. So I'm just going to keep going and get my dozen candy bar cookies made, and then I'll pop them in the oven for about 12 minutes, maybe even up to 14 minutes. They need to be cooked a little bit more on the long side till they're nice and golden around the edges. Otherwise your cookie lollipop will all fall apart, and we don't want that. So I'm going to continue on with that, and we'll come back when they're out of the oven. See you in just a few.